Hey guys, it's History Behind the Warrior, and today I'm going to be talking about the Injustice universe and what would have happened if Lois had survived and Batman had killed the Joker. I'm drawing influence from year 3 of the Injustice 2 comic book series. Everything that I really say here is from a dream sequence in which Clark has. It brings to light a lot of different issues, and I guess like what I normally say on this channel, what could have been. It fleshes out a lot more about the character and how this universe could have gone in a completely different direction. In many ways, this dream sequence is very moving and is something I wish that they would have explored in the game, as they did feature the section at the end of the game where Bruce and Clark are talking to each other about the night that Lois had announced the pregnancy. It's arguably one of the best scenes within Injustice 2 and completely stops the pacing to kind of create this scene in which I guess two bitter friends can kind of allow themselves to share this really kind of beautiful moment.
Fighting on the same side, it felt like old times. But I guess we both knew it would end this way.
Do you remember that night when you told me Lois was pregnant?
You knew, even before I said anything.
That was a good memory.
From another lifetime.
I miss the people we were then.
Me too.
But anyway, on that note, let's get on to the video. Now this scenario and dream sequence happens in year 3 of the comic books, where Bruce throws magical dust into Clark's face and sends him into a coma-like state, in which he dreams of a world in his own image. And it's certainly a lot different from what you would initially think. Now it opens up with Clark flying Lois Lane to Earth's atmosphere as he's under the mirage that it's in fact Doomsday. It's only until he's in Earth's atmosphere in which he realizes that he's done a horrible mistake. He then wraps his cape around her and takes her back down to Earth's surface with the hopes that she's still in fact breathing. And she is. Lois had survived this altercation, which is a massive change in what initially had happened. Now after saving Lois's life, Clark would set his eyes on the Joker, but Bruce would stop him and tell him not to worry, as he would personally deal with the Joker. And Bruce and the Joker would get in the Batmobile and begin their long drive to Gotham. And it's a long and rather awkward drive, as there's only silence, until the Joker can't help but open his mouth and says, "How many times have we really done this? Same place, different time." It always ends the same way, but it's not really changing, is it? I quote the Joker when I say this: "You don't need to say anything, Batsy. I know you need me, and I need you. It's all for you. Every cut, every terrified cry in the dark. You keep me going. You're who I perform for. You're the reason I smile. I like playing with your friends though. I think I'll do it again. You're okay if I torment other people, right? Of course I'll wait until their baby is born." Children scream in a way that... And those were the last words that the Joker had uttered. He had forced Bruce to cross that line. To save the lives of thousands, he decided to put the Joker down. This vicious cycle was something that he didn't want to continue. After this, Bruce would turn himself into Gotham PD, so he could atone for his crimes. Now whilst Bruce was in prison, Lois would give birth to Lara Lane Kent. Clark would then go out and visit Bruce, so he could inform him about his goddaughter. There's a very touching moment here, where Clark comes to the realization that Bruce had only crossed that line because he not only threatened the thousands of people in the world, but he also threatened Clark and his family. Clark then walks through the barrier between the two and embraces Bruce in a hug to kind of show the gratitude he has to someone that isn't just so much his friend, but his brother. In a world as bleak as the Injustice one, it's moments like this that really show the weight and gravity of what their friendship is. It's a match in a very dark tunnel, and really it teaches you to really appreciate moments like this, as stuff like this within the Injustice universe are few and far in between. Anyway, back to the dream sequence. Clark tells Bruce that he could be out of here in just 2 years' time, with good behavior of course, but Bruce retorts that he cannot do that, as he's just having too much fun beating up criminals in here. But he also does want to atone for his crimes. He killed a man, and in his eyes, it makes him no better than the other criminals that are currently in here, so he's perfectly fine with doing the time. And in time, Bruce and Lois would grow old together, raising their child Lara, her being able to speak her first word, take her first steps, and even learn how to fly. It wasn't long till she joined the Teen Titans and donned the mark of L. Now Lara would have a very brief conversation with Clark in space, where they talk about with all this godly power, why can't they do more? And Clark even mentioned that they can do whatever they want. They can stop them from hurting themselves and control the destiny of this world. But his daughter retorts that they could do that, or they could not sound like grade B supervillains. Now since Lara is of Earth, she can speak for their people, unlike her father cow, and she goes in front of the UN where she's able to unite the world and have them function as one unit so that all of their societies can work together and the world can finally be at peace without any kind of force being needed to control it. Now after this, we get to see Bruce for the first time, and it seems like he's been out of prison for a while, as Bruce has in fact married Wonder Woman. Yes, him and Diana are now together. A few more years pass by, and Clark has gone into retirement and is now living with Lois on the Kent farm, where Clark says that he's hearing new voices, and he tells Lois that everything's going so quickly. He wishes that there were more time, and that they could be together for much longer. He never wants this moment to end. Lois then cups his face and says, "Stay with me, Smallville. We will have many more days." And that's the end of the dream sequence, in which Clark reawakens back into a world that does not have Lois Lane, and it was him that had murdered the Joker. And that's really it for this video, guys. Now I personally could have taken this video in a completely different direction, by me interpreting with what could happen really if Batman had killed the Joker, but this dream sequence and few issues are what I would personally deem as comic book perfection. As I mentioned earlier, in a world that is as grim as the Injustice one, something like this really does flesh out the characters and who they are. We know these godlike beings, these titans, but it's only until you humanize them and see them as people in which you can then really appreciate them. Anyway, that's been it for this video, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this, and it's been a little bit more down to earth with the Injustice 2 content. Now tomorrow, I'll be discussing who I think is in Fighter Pack 2, so please do keep an eye out for that. And if I have a little bit of spare time, I'll try my best to put out another Injustice 2 video on Thursday. And if you're a massive Tekken fan or King of Fighters fan, I'll be talking about Geese Howard on Saturday to celebrate his reveal as the first official DLC character to appear in Tekken 7. Now before this video wraps up, guys, if possible, let's try getting it to about 500 likes. It's a great way of supporting this channel, as YouTube's ad system is broken as hell. Now as always, guys, please comment, like, subscribe, and share this video with everyone you know. Please take care, and I'll see you all next time.